All right, here we go, people. Many of you have asked. Many of you wanted to know who he is. Who's the great big Bern? Who's this guy you keep calling Satan? Underground volleyball? I don't even know what underground volleyball is. What does that mean? Who are you talking about? This is the guy I'm talking about. And he's on this show because me, I've got to give the people what they want. Bernard. Fucking Norman.
What's up, man?
And there go our sponsors. So much for paying the bills. All right, so what were we talking about before before we got on? We were talking about
a little bit about Eugene, which is our best friend.
Yeah. Oh, actually, I think I want to save Eugene for later when we get serious, because right now we too fucking light. We too lighthearted right now. Listen, for those of you that don't know, Bernard is something everyone affectionately refers to as a Central Park legend. For my friends in the South Bay, everybody has legends. These guys that play fours. I'll give you another Norman, Kevin Norman, legend. A lot of these guys you don't hear about in the AVP circuit, but people regionally know. And Bernard is an underground, I'm not going to say superhero, because he wasn't exactly what we call a good guy. All right. He is evil and he must be destroyed. But yet after the destruction of New York, COVID, 9/11, this man comes out smelling like a rose. What's good, baby?
Not much, man. How you doing? Yeah, I just want to tell you, this is great, man. I love what you do to this. I try to catch them to your shows. I know your episodes. Well, not all of them, because I've watched most of them, but I saw some of them. And, I sat there right in front of my TV, sitting there, chewing my food down there. And then you see me, I'm texting you, God damn it, tell him I said hi.
It was like, what are you doing? Actually, I'm going to share this. This is on my NY Varsity Sports page. I want to share a fun story with you. When we first started playing together, Central Park Fours was a big deal. Central Park Fours was a big deal. I'll say it again for everybody listening. Central Park Fours was a big deal. I'm not talking about playing on the strand where you just set one player on each team on the strand side and you switch sides. I'm talking about running plays. I'm talking about running shotguns. I'm talking about running the X. Everyone's hitting, including the setter. This formation of extraordinary players from Dominican Republic, from Poland, right? Patrick Dees from Queens. You're from Harlem. I'm a Brooklyn kid. Eugene, South Bronx. Dave Carter's from Barbados. Right, played on the national team, and I'm just gonna say the word Dominican, and that covers the other 35 people, including Elvis Rodriguez, whose name transcends outside of New York City. How much did that mean to you playing, as far as like forming friendships, relationships, roommate situations, business partners? Talk to me a little bit about that. Just I'm gonna give you the reins and just chat with me on that one.
So I'm not even going to talk a little bit about it. I'm going to talk a lot about it. First of all, before we get into the fours conversation, let's talk about how you and I first met, how you and I went against each other first, and how I met you.
Oh, I can't stand you.
Jason and I could not stand each other. When we played volleyball, I was on this kind of like this law firm team. Yeah. And they formed and went to Urban.
Was it Lawyers League or Urban? It was Urban, right? It was a law firm that made an Urban team. All right,
and you was with this thick chick, this thick white chick that y'all both was always trying to block me. But you was getting me a little bit more than her. But I admired her. She still was coming up and blocking me. I was like, this chick is really doing this.
Mm-hmm. So, good female players, man. New York Urban, you're only as good as your women. In that co-ed league, you ain't got good women. I don't care how good your guys are. You know, women win that fucking league, not the guys. So yeah,
Word.
That was fun. That was fun. I remember you getting a block on me, right? And you actually said roof. You said roof before you got the block. And you said it like a little girl. So he's like, here it comes.
I said
roof. You said
no,
roof.
I said roof.
Like that. And then you got a block, and then everybody's laughing, celebrating because it was entertaining, at least for your side. And I said, I'm going to get this guy. So you try to run a quick set off the right side. You came off the right side and run a quick set. And I do something I do with every new player I never met. I show him a mile of line. and then I jump in both hands and I take it away. And then, you know, eventually people crack the code, but I'm always going to get one block to be in someone's head first. So when I got the block, you walked across the net, you know, and I walked across with you.
And you followed me.
Yes, I followed you. I walked across with you. I'm like, you know, I don't see you talking now. And then the next play, I tried to jump into the cross. And you were in the air about to swing, but when you saw me jump into the cross, you got so high, you stopped your swing in the middle of the air, and you waited for me to keep going, and then you just hit like inseam line, like straight down. It's like, come on, trying to do the same thing twice, and for the entire night. We had to have an answer for each other. You dug a ball out of position 6, back row, you know, back middle. They set you back row, kill. I dug a ball out of the middle. They set me back row, kill. There was a ball off the dig, option hit on 2, blam. There's a ball off the dig, me option hit on 2, boom. Jump serve, position 1, clean ace. You know, I'm like, damn. Then I go back the next play, jump serve, position 1, clean ace. We just went at each other, and
we was going back and forth.
And it wound up, it was 15-14 third game, playoff game too. Playoff game.
Yeah, it was.
This is for money, man. This is for money. I mean, the shit gets personal. So, it wound up, I was trying to get the referee's attention. The guy was screening. Yeah, that Indian cat. I was moving left. He was moving left. I was moving left. He's moving left. And I was like, screen. I was just trying to get that. And
because he was like this in front of the net.
Yeah, but when I moved my hand, he was doing this. When I moved my head this way, he was doing this. And that's, you know, that's
I didn't notice that.
And that's illegal. So what happened was, I think I made too much noise, and we got ace for it. I didn't get ace. I mean, for me, I'm just going to be like, screens go. Pass, you know, but like Mark Bloom was our captain. It went between him and someone else, and it was partially my fault. I should just say screen, but at the same time, you know, we still got to play volleyball, right? You got to play the whistle. So
of course,
you ended up winning that game, and I felt like we would have still been playing. You know, we can only have the gym till like 11 o'clock, and we probably would have. I mean, it was already 10:54, so I think the ref was just glad to get the fuck out.
Yeah, we overtimed it because we were going at each other's throats.
Brandeis High School. It was at Brandeis High School, and they can only have the gym till like 11. So you know,
we were going back and forth, and you know, so Jay finally went in the locker room. I'm in the locker room changing. This mofo comes right beside me. I was like, I know he ain't sitting beside me.
Like we're friends.
And then I turned around and said, "You a pain in the ass." You know that Jason look? I don't know if y'all know that Jason look. Get that look like.
Yeah.
See that look right there? That's the look.
Yes. Yeah. And you asked me a question. You asked me if I played for Hunter, and I thought you were talking about Hunter College.
Right.
But you were talking about Hunter High School, and I said yes, yeah, and you're like, I fucking knew it because you had Martin Luther King, that was your rival. You had a really good season. It was you, Braulio. You had a really good squad, man. And I think MLK.
I was a freshman.
I think you guys were in the finals or the semifinals against and wound up against them.
I was a freshman at that time when we went to the final. Well, we semifinals, we actually made it. We didn't go to the finals, but we went to semi. And that's the first time when I got into the high school. There's a long story, but I don't want to bore anybody. That's the first time I got into the high school, and that was the first experience of the high school of being the first volleyball team.
Yep.
And I was just like, wow, I'm glad I experienced everything. And then, you know, we had the Jamaicans, the Haitians, the Chinese, the Japanese. We had like one Japanese guy. We had like a lot of mixed people.
You had Braulio, Dominican cat, right? Braulio,
Dominican guy? Yeah.
Oh, either Wilson or Braulio. Yeah, good player, man. Good player.
Great player.
He ended up playing with Elvis at Hunter. Yeah. He ended up playing. Elvis was at Hunter College for a cup of coffee, and it was him, Braulio, Wilson. Who's the setter? Leandro set. Leandro played college for 7 years, people. I mean, you're only allowed to play 4 fucking years. This is how nobody even looked at Division III, right? He played
exactly.
He played 4 years at Hunter, and he goes to New Paltz, right? And Tony's like, I want you to set. And he's like, I already played 4 years. And Tony was like, fuck the dumb shit. Do you want to play or not? So I have videotaped evidence that this man played at least, I'm saying 7, but at least 5 years or more. Okay. And under the radar. So not even changing his name. Dominicans do that though. Dominicans, they take the college entrance exam. They send their friend. Like, that guy, Leon, Alejandro Flores, which is not his real name, who played on Balmeso that won nationals for adult.
Damn, Jay, why don't you just give it away?
He took the he sent someone in to take he doesn't speak a lick of English. He does not speak one word of English. How the hell are you gonna pass a CUNY proficiency exam? The whole fucking test is in English. How? I'll tell you how. He sent someone in. So
damn,
listen,
Jay, why don't you just tell the story on air?
Oh my God! Hey, listen, that was everybody getting outed tonight, you know. But I think the most important thing was not what happened that night. We had a conversation, but that following Monday, I knew I was waiting for that. Everybody from New York knows what Riverbank State Park is. Riverbank State Park,
and that's where I live nearby right now.
Dominican Republic Force. The only rule is you have to receive serve with you can't receive serve overhead or double contact first hit. They use an indoor ball. You know, Central Park, they use the indoor, like the hard Molten or at the time. And, dig, you're allowed to double hard driven, whatever. They had like beach rules, except you weren't allowed to open hand tip. And it wasn't for freshmen, dude. It was strictly
Can I say something?
Yeah.
For those you don't know, we played the original volleyball, not that crap y'all play right now. You know, that net, that double tap shit, that it tipped the net. Oh, we can do this. Oh, you got 2 points because the ball led. That's bull. Y'all don't know what real volleyball is, you fucking next generations. I'm sorry, go ahead, man.
Yeah, caught, catch and throw the ball. That's not a double. It didn't spin.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Nigga, that caught bullshit. It. Basically what happened was I went there, and I went there I heard about it by myself, went there alone. Biggest sin, and South Bay guys, everywhere, Chicago, Florida, the biggest sin when you go to a place that's not for freshmen, strictly for linemen, you don't go by yourself. You have make sure a friend invites you. This way you're not there by yourself, and this way, you don't wind up with some scrub team fours and they undress you and like mock you in front of everybody. So I ended up playing with a team I didn't know, and I got a few kills, and they knew I could play, and they knew they had to wrap it up. But I think after the fourth play, I didn't see a ball. I was playing oppo. I was playing on fours. I was playing the right side, and I didn't see a serve. I didn't, when I blocked, they didn't hit my way. And I just got embarrassed, and I sat down, and I got my sneakers, and I was just ready to go. And who walks in? You walk in, and I go, oh shit, oh shit.
Because I live right there in Harlem. I mean, well, I know I'm in Harlem, but I live right there on 148th Street, and something kept bugging me in my mind. Go to the gym, go hang out. So I said, all right.
It was free, people. 7 o'clock to 11 every Monday and Wednesday. Free.
So I go to the gym, and I see this bright white guy.
That's me. I'm white, boy.
And he
look at my face, look behind me. Same thing. Go ahead.
He's like, yo, you, yeah, get dressed. And I was like, oh, we gonna go at it again? So I got dressed, and he was like, oh, this is gonna be fun.
Oh my God.
So I got it, and we was on the same team, and from there we just clicked. We clicked.
That was same night. We could do no wrong. We could do no wrong. No. Even if you mishit a jump serve, the mishit turned into an ace. I set a ball that was low and shooty, and you got a great four step. So that first step you take, if it's low, you just speed up. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, boom. If it's high, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. So you got to a point. Everything I set, I could just set shit, and it's just. And we won every single match. Yeah, and the two things I remember, I was like, get change, and you just like. What is your few lighter shades ass doing in Harlem? Borderline.
What the fuck is he doing here?
And that part of Harlem is borderline Dominican, but mostly African American. And
no, but it was mostly Dominicans, yes. And I saw how.
But I'm like, don't you stick out.
I looked from the distance. I was like, why are they treating this guy like this? And I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
He looked familiar, and he was like, you,
get dressed.
You. I was
get
like,
dressed.
What the?
Get dressed. That's how I was like, just get changed. Get changed.
And we just killed him. We killed him. And the people that was on our side, we barely gave them anything because he was kind of like how they were treating you, we was treating them. But you gave something to whoever. I can't remember who it was. I don't remember those guys.
Don't matter none. Only, at the end of the day, you remember a handful of people. So
now, that we got that part out the way, this was was meant to me. I already put it on Facebook how we were like the NWO, man. We was like,
New World Order, baby. New World Order.
We devastated people. We made volleyball fun. Other people get frustrated, yelling at each other. We did too, but we still made it fun though, regardless. We made it fun.
Yeah, keep talking. I'm going to put it up.
I kind of was a psychopath moment back then because I wasn't too normal playing volleyball, meaning my attitude. See, exactly, the NWO of volleyball right there. You know, I look like a Chester cat doing that fucking grin.
I was 255, 260 pounds. Look at that, dude.
We used to call you Moose back then.
The Moose, that's right. Moose, Flacco. They still call Eugene Flacco.
Yeah, I know.
That's Patrick Dietz,
color
commentator.
We never had a name for Patrick.
Can't say it on there.
Mm-hmm. That's Miss Betty Chow, folks, in case you know. She's a good friend of ours.
Yeah. Yeah, and, we won $2,000. Actually, we won 2,000 with Mark. The team broke up in half. Justin, Greg Romulus, they made their own team. We made ours. We won another 1,000. So good team, man.
We were just killing it. We was killing it left and right, man.
But fours.
The fours was like, it's family, regardless. It was family. I love you guys. You know I love you guys to hell, man. You know, we basically grew up together. If you ask me, we grew up together. We talked about all our problems, girlfriend situations. You chased me the whole Central Park when I told you I got married.
Idiot.
You said you got married and you chased me all around Central Park. And I was like, Jay, let me explain.
Trying to run and create space. Can we have a conversation? Can I talk?
Y'all think we're joking? We're not joking. He literally chased me around Central Park. He was so pissed off at me.
You're just so young, man. You're just so young. Yeah.
I had personal issues with that, but before I get into that conversation, with fours, you know, like I said, I love the hell out of you guys. You're my family. Well, you know, when we had the fours, we were going at people. We was devastating people. We all knew our talent. We all knew our skills, the same as talent, and we know what to do. Like, for instance, I'd be like, Jay, 1, 2, boom.
Yeah.
Jay hit it on the second hit. You think he's going to set it, but he's not going to set it. He goes, because he knows how I am. When I'm in the middle back row, I'll be like, Jay, boom. Set Gene, boom. Gene blocks everything. He's like, I ain't doing nothing. I ain't blocking. Sometimes Gene yell at me when I'm up there in front of the net. He's like, why are you blocking? I said, because you're tall enough. You can do it yourself.
Yeah,
I said, before us, damn it.
Yeah, man. Let me tell you something. That hit on two, the option, if you will. Just years and years of watching a video of a guy from the '88 team, Jeff Stork, lefty setter. You know what I'm saying? You were more old school than me. I was like a Karch Karad dude. You were a Sinjin Smith guy. You know,
yes.
you were.
I'm glad I met him in person. Oh my God, I snuck out of my job to meet him.
Yeah, yeah. They came 1998. They came the Goodwill games. Sinjin,
and he was on 59th Street in some beach store back then.
I think he was still playing with a guy named Henkel, and Karch was playing with AJ.
I thought he was playing a Randy Stokos.
Sinjin was, but Stokos. I think this is '98. Stokos already retired. You know.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And
Sinjin, sure? No, because he got a new. No, he told me he got a new partner. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
he got a new partner, and he was like, "Well, maybe if if we want to get together again." Because I was sad when they departed because they were great together, and they made that Nintendo game, King of the Beach. Remember that?
I liked him because he's everything you want a volleyball player to be: accessible to his fans. Didn't have to be over polite, but be nice and be real. The dude is real. The dude is real. I see him now more than I've ever seen him in New York. He's for BVNE, for Beach Volleyball National Events. King of the Beach is our sponsor. So you know he's one of the founders of it. He's promoting the ball. It's the black and white. Yeah, so
he's been with it for a good while.
He looks still good looking guy. Still, I doubt that he plays. His son played 4 years at UCLA, Hagen, and he has another son that's still in UCLA as we speak. Sinjin set for UCLA. He him and Aldous, we call Odie. Aldous, they were 1979 around, that
Odie!
Yeah, kind of knew each other back then. I'm definitely gonna tag him on this.
Odie, I love you, man.
Yeah.
I miss you so bad.
So before I talk about our roommate situation, because a bunch of volleyball players we all got decided decided to get together and like live in this big ass house. It was like 14 rooms. It was all volleyball players except one guy who we stuck in the basement apartment because he was short.
Let me tell you how bad I want to live with these guys. I left my wife to live with them. I'm sorry. I left my ex-wife to go live with them. That's how bad I want to live with them. I was like, that's enough because we was having problems anyway. So I was like, oh, this is the opportunity.
I choose my words carefully because she watches this. She shares this. You guys, right. You guys had the ultimate roller coaster up and down relationship. That's something I think both of you guys have come so far and so mature. Some of that stuff you could look back and laugh like, holy shit, we were crazy. We were just some crazy fucking people, dude. So let me throw some names at you, and just give me a couple of give me a little bit of a, I'm not a diatribe, but just what you think of them. Bruno. I mean, a lot of people don't know his last name, but just like Ricardo is just known as Ricardo.
Is that the Bruno big just Bruno that you talking about? The one I was scared when I started playing volleyball?
Yep.
Dude. So Justin and I was the first doubles in Central Park.
Yeah.
And Matt, the old legends of Central Park. Matt, people don't know who Matt is. Matt, I wish to God I still know where he is and everything. Matt will always mess with Bruno when we first started. He goes, Bruno, Bernard and Justice are going to kick your ass. And I was like, oh, dear God, please don't say that. He's going to destroy us.
Yeah.
And I remember the first dug I got from that man, my arms were, I could see the print on my arm. He hits like I thought Ram can hit hard. This guy was powerful.
Yep.
And I was skinnier back then. Of course, I was skinnier. I was like this skinny, okay? And oh my God, when I passed the ball, I was like, oh! I didn't want to tell Justin. Justin looked at me and I was like, just set it. And then it said it, I hit it. But he barely blocked it. It scraped off him, but and dug it, and the game kept going. But we almost beat them. That was our first match, and we almost beat them. We lost though.
Yeah. Something about Matt. Matt was telling Bruno, those guys are going to kick your ass because Matt is a prophet. If the older generation, as you continue to get old, if you just keep your own clique and only let the handpick the best young players to play with you, and like keep playing against and keep beating the same teams over and over again, one of two things are going to happen. They're just going to be dumb enough to let you, do the things that you like to do. Like if Bruno likes to hit wrist away or like to cut back, if he has like favorite shots, the same dummies, I'm going to say dummies. Yeah, I said it. The same dummies are going to play you for 3 years straight, right? They're going to play you for 3 years straight and let you do the same things. Or the second thing is they're going to smarten up. This dude likes to wrist away, or this dude likes to jump and disguise his cut shot. I'm just going to lay in the cut, and then we're going to option his ass. So when Matt said these young guys are coming up, that was a warning. That wasn't him pumping up Bruno. I mean, Bruno took it as like, oh, fuck, these guys are going to kick my ass. No, Matt was a prophet. Matt was saying this generation of players they're smarter, they're more hybrid. They're fearless. They respect you, but not, they don't fear you. They're not scared of you. Like you said, Bruno hits hard. If they leave line open or like sharp cross, it's coming to you, and you don't want to be a pussy, right? You ain't trying to run. I ran plenty of times, but you don't want to run, and it's coming. So it's just like, oh God, I got to take this one for the team. But after playing the same guy, you adjust your matrix, right? The speed becomes normal. It's not fast and hard anymore. Your forearms don't fucking hurt anymore. That ball was hard because when you play in the concrete with an indoor ball and the ball constantly hits the concrete, it loses some of the leather texture and it just becomes this rock. In fact, we called it the rock, right? We called the rock. We didn't even call it a ball anymore. It was just this white ball would be this blackish gray thing that we knew if you hit it hard, we were there. So Matt was warning everybody, these guys are coming. These guys are coming, man.
Yeah.
You don't
understand. That ball was like a rock, man. I mean, people that play these balls right now, that sounds personal. People that play volleyball and, they see you next generation guys, y'all don't know shit about shit. We play on concrete. I'm glad I still got knees, to be honest with you. Shit, I left right on. I retired on time. 18 years, I was like, all right, I think I gotta slow down.
Yeah, I got out a little too late. I was heavy set back then, and I got out just in the nick of time to play a few good years. But man, I wish I didn't play as much. I wish I was there, right? We order food, they deliver Chinese food to us, pizza in the park. We play cards, we'd be there until the nightlights got out, and we just sit there, beach chairs, and just chill. So, and they had park benches by the court. So a lot of times it was just a fellowship thing, and whoever Sunday was showcase. Sunday, there were people that played in the morning, but when 2:00 hit, they knew they had to get the fuck out of there. It's a public park, it's my right.
I couldn't stand that. It was one older guy, I forgot his name. He was like, I got this. This is my net. I pay for these poles and all this stuff. And I was like, dude, come on. It doesn't have to be like that. I was like, I remember I got on his ass one time, and he did that because I had enough of him doing that taking over crap, and we was playing doubles. He said, why not we play fours? Why not? I said, why don't you take your ass up there?
Yeah, bye. Well, here's the cool thing about Matt. Matt had scissors. That's the story I remember about Matt. The guy's like, it's my net. I was here first. Oh, it's your net? It's your net? All right, watch this. He comes out and he pulls out these fucking big office scissors and clips the dude's net, dude. Cut the dude's net. The same way you covering your mouth now, nobody said, chill, Matt, chill. Everyone just said, oh, ho, 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 ho.
Yeah, Matt was no joke, man.
Dude, he just cut your shit, man. He just cut your net. Woo!
I got people I want to shout out to that was very near and dear to me, like Freddie. Love Freddie.
Yep. Still plays.
What's his
plays
name?
A lot of beach.
What was the old gentleman name? And I used to love him. Oh,
Lou.
The one he goes every time he dug my ball, he goes, "What else you got?"
Who's that guy?
Sandy? No, that's not his name. Sandy.
Sandy. It is Sandy. That's what we called him.
It is Sandy?
Yeah, that's what we called him. Sandy.
There's so many people I just want to give a shout out to, man.
Rick Amon. Remember Rick?
Oh, Rick? Yeah.
Rick actually, a lot of people don't know, Rick played with Karch. He was a middle blocker at UCLA. He's one of those guys that run that West Coast one and never got set. It was a high ball offense back then. Karch Karan, Sinjin ran a 6'2", and he was the one driving the middle. They're in system, so everyone's thinking middle, set outside. So their passing was so good, they never set the middle because the blockers had to stay with the middle. They couldn't just leave the middle to block Karch or Sinjin. They had to stay with you. They had to respect it. Otherwise, Rick will take your lunch money. Rick Amon, Omar. How's that for mentors? How's that for a name?
Oh, God. He wasn't my mentor.
No.
So I respect him, but he's conceited. And when he trained Ren, if I'm correct on that, because it seemed like he trained Ren back then.
No, he said he did, but he didn't.
Oh, he didn't?
Look, Ren respected him. But just because Ren respects somebody, he respects his elders, don't mean the elder taught him everything he knows. No. Ask Ren. Ask Ren. Ren's going to say, you're going to have to miss me on that one, Because there's no way that Omar's his mentor and Ren's skill set was prettier than Omar's before Ren even hit the age of 25. And Omar, I sound like I'm disrespecting Omar. I'm not. Omar is a baller. Omar is a professional baseball player for the Pittsburgh Pirates. And transcended to volleyball. So for him to be a late bloomer, mad props to him. And if we ask Omar could say, yeah, I taught him a couple of things, but I'm not his mentor. He'll say the same thing. Like Raphael, that would be like one of Ren's mentors. Like Raphael, Elvis, definitely one of Ren's mentors. Yeah. Elvis punched him in the face and he ain't doing nothing. So, I mean, as a mentor. You're like Elvis. You're like Elvis was a hero to most, but he never meant shit to me.
You see my face on that, right? I'm like, I respect him, but the rest is just like whatever.
I had the Public Enemy song, "Fight the Power." Elvis was a hero.
I know what that song is. I'm sorry. I respect him, but the rest is just whatever.
Well, I think you and him had heat because he kept trying. When you were coming up, you were getting better and better. But when the Dominicans came, I call them affectionately, right? We ain't not as
they were fun to play against.
Oh
I don't
my
care
God!
What y'all said.
No, but listen, they would always try to run us off. Or try to, nope, now you're on that.
And we always argue back at them. Nah, y'all gonna have to fight us through this.
So the reason why there's some heat is one particular summer, and I definitely don't want to talk more than you, but I definitely want us to share this. One particular summer, it was me, you, Eugene, Flacco, and Dave Carter. And
Dave.
And Kilvio, they're like, yo, we taking the net. I'm like, no, you ain't. And they're like, we got scissors. I said, come cut my net. And they're just
I was right there with you.
They're just like, listen, people like white kids were scared of them Dominicans because they were crazy, and Dominicans were all about that machismo up in Washington Heights. But I'm a kid from Flatbush, Brooklyn, New York, and I said, I went like this. I said, come cut my net. Go ahead.
Yeah,
I said, get the scissors, see what happens. And Eugene, South Bronx, yeah, go ahead. And Bernard's just like, you didn't even have to say anything. Like, we said it all. You just went, like, I got that back no matter what.
I was standing right behind y'all, and I was like, really? Little dude?
So what happened
and you going to try and cut this net? All right, come on, try it.
Kilvio and Leandro was like, listen, let's just play the game to 11. We beat them. We fucking murk them because it's side out back then. So, you didn't have a lot of games of 15 unless if there were only 4 teams and we locked out everybody else, we played at 15. But a lot of teams waiting, play to 11. He said, let's just play to 11. We get them out and we can house that net. And
that didn't happen.
But listen, it seemed like a good idea, didn't it? It seemed like a good idea because, and everyone listening to this, everyone that's ever had to come up and earn the respect of the people who constantly beat you, and I'm getting somewhere with this, they have something called recency bias. Like, if you got better, they don't acknowledge you got better. They only remember the guy that they beat up all the time until there's a defining moment where you beat them consistently or beat them one time so convincingly you force them to respect you. So this isn't just a Central Park or urban legend. And a lot of people, the sand guys, the cool kids in South Bay, everyone can relate. So they said, play to 11, let's get them out. So what happened was we won 11-2. We won 11-2. And Eugene's like, you better set me the fucking ball. You know what I said? I said, Eugene, I will set you every ball until you miss one. How about that? Is that a deal? Cool. I set Eugene 9 straight balls. Quick sets. Predictable. I put both hands up. I didn't try to deceive the block. No respect, single block, boom, boom, boom. Single block, boom, boom, boom. Double block now. So now they're doing double blocks and playing defense on the wings. Eugene, check. A split in the block, a split this middle, like a little hole in the block. Whoa, plow through with the 10. So at the end, I was like, I set, right? And you had 3 blockers on transition. 3 blockers wound up at the net and 1 back row defender. 3 blockers wound up at the net. I said, I set. And then I set outside and you screamed, I swing.
And we all started laughing because I got it in. He said, I set. He said, I swing. And I hit the ball. I pound that motherfucker.
Nobody up. There was nobody up on an outside hitter. Where there should always be at least one guy making sure that guy don't have his way. Nobody up on an outside hitter. That's what happens when you set your middle 9 straight times. Dave Carter wanted some action, but Dave Carter understood later. He wanted some sets because he wanted to. I mean, Central Park. When everyone's watching, you want to shine. I get that, but Dave got that. I said, Dave, I just needed to do that one game. Because Eugene's Dominican, and they're looking at him like he's a fucking sellout. So
you don't understand. We're performers. And when we were performers, we actually literally had a crowd watching us play. And that amps me up as well. I'm sure it amps you guys up too. Like when we play, you're like, oh, I love this. When you see guys coming to perform and everything. I love that. What in Toucan Sam? Where the hell did you go? All right.
No, sorry about that, man.
All right.
No, sorry about that, man. No, I lost. I ran out of recording time. I'm just making sure we do that again.
Damn it! My boss asked me to work tomorrow. I ain't answering this shit.
He said, "Did this motherfucker just ghost me?"
I'll take my Saturdays off, man. I work 12 hours each day. I ain't trying to do this right now.
Yes, no, I ran out of tape time, but I just reset it. We lost 5 minutes of that. But continuing the story, just in case this turned off when we told it, a bunch of guys tried to run us off. We refused to go. They said, you know what, let's get them out the old-fashioned way. Let's play them and beat them and take that net. We won the first game 11-2, and then more players started coming.
They was watching us and said, "Oh no, we gotta get these guys out."
Yeah, a couple of middles from Creole, they came through. Then we won that game. A better team came through. We won that game, and then finally, the game it's around 5:00 in the afternoon, and that's when it heats up. It's humid as fuck in Central Park. At that time, if everyone's walking home from brunch and this and that, and people that don't even play the sport are like, these guys are fucking serious. So now, just like Manhattan Sixes and Manhattan Beach, California. You see nothing but people and a court. Everyone's surrounding the court, and you don't even see asphalt anymore. You just see people.
Yeah, and it was a crowd, man. We had a crowd.
It's Elvis, Leandro, this lefty named Alex, and Carmelo. Big Mouth Carmelo was hitting middle.
Wow, and, Carmelo. Is that the blinking one?
Yes. Bitch is still twitching.
Give me
Boom! Shut the fuck up!
I was like, kaboom! I said, come on, give me the ball. I had issues, man. I had tons of issues playing volleyball.
But all right. So here's the thing. Elvis wanted to do something cute. Elvis was like, Leandro's like, cool, I'm gonna set. And I was like, no, I'll set. And Elvis, anyone knows Elvis, in his prime, he's an outside hitter. The man is a passing machine. And of course, there's heat between you and him, because the three best passers I ever met in my life were Ren Osborne, Elvis Rodriguez, and you. Sorry, Karch, wherever you're the king of volleyball, you're God, but I'm a prisoner of the moment based on what I've seen over and over and over again. And there were no better three platforms. Okay, so the best outside hitter in New York City wants to set. Cool, fine with us.
I remember that. I just shook my head like, really?
And Leandro's like, really? Because he saw us play all day. Like this is if there's any serious game of the day, this is it. So you hit a ball. I kind of shot you to the pin against the grain where it looked like you only had inseam line. So the entire defense moved to your left, and then you just wrist away right and just clean shot. It was so clean you took something off of it just to make sure you what you saw was real. So now it's 9-0 us. Game to 11. And then he still stays setting. They get a few points. They get to 4. Carmelo just started hitting on back row. I don't know why, because everybody's front row. He just started hitting back row out of the pipe. And, got a 2, got a kill here. And Carmelo, all as twitchy as he is, got some kills. And then we get the side out. And Elvis is like, finally says Leandro set. And he goes to the outside. The first person Leandro sets is Elvis. And me, I'm by myself because Eugene got to stay with Alex and Carmelo. And I just do one of these. I just kind of close my eyes, split one hand here, split one hand there. He hits my right, goes straight down. Everyone just goes, oh shit, this dude just blocked Elvis or whatever. So now we have game point. The very next play, you jump serve, and it's so sharp to his left. He just said, good game. Before the ball even landed, he was like in receive position. And then when you serve the ball, right? Then when you serve the ball, he just stood up and said, hey, good game, guys. He looked you in your eye and he shook your hand, but I knew that ate at him for a little bit. And that's when we just started getting the game. That was the season, because summer volleyball comes in seasons in Central Park. That was a season where we were one of them. But
because now we are no longer that B court type of play.
Yeah. No.
See, B court is in Central Park back in the old days. It used to be A, B, and C. I don't think C was in there at the time, was it? Yeah, I think it was there. Was it 3 courts?
Yeah, there were 3 courts, and there was no sand court.
Yeah, there was no sand court at all. There's none. There was no kitty litter at the time. That's what I used to call it. I used to call it kitty litter.
Wasn't good sand.
If you was on court A, you were the best player ever, and they were like, this is when I was still in high school, and they were the best players in court A. And then
saw Mike Dodd out there, for Christ's sakes, playing fours.
We took over court B, and people just started coming to us, playing with us, and we was like, what are you guys doing here? Why you ain't going to court A, you know? Oh, we see how serious you guys are. You know, we're just having fun.
Yeah.
You know?
I can't nothing about that. We just decided the line was too long. And then we kind of made our own court A, and then court A became the sand court. There was only one court. If you remember, there was only one court back then. There's two courts now. John Stossel help make that happen. So big up to him.
Of course he does. Of course he's the man.
Our man from 2020, John Stossel, is, I believe, 66 years or 65 years of age and still an active player. So big up.
John, you know when I see you, I tap you and I always say hi to you, man.
Yeah. So I'm glad we're mentioning these names because these names are consistent and they ring out. They transcend outside of New York City, meaning there's a level of interest generated by people that don't play volleyball in New York City, and there's a handful of people that don't play volleyball at all. And we're like, man, those guys are special, you know?
They don't understand that you and I, we know a lot of people around the world. We know a lot of people. That's what volleyball is all about, knowing a lot of people from around the world, you know, and they may not speak English too well, but they know how to play. And they knew how to play.
Yeah.
I hated it.
One language. No, but one language. Yeah. Right. There's one language. It was volleyball. I'm going to get to them in a minute. No, but for the people listening, summer volleyball in Central Park has this conglomerate of people, immigrants who've been playing since they were children that immigrated to the United States, people who are in New York City for vacation. That guy we called Italia, I think it was like Zorzi's cousin or something, like a real baller from Italy in the professional league. Seydu, Ajananko played 3 years at Cal Baptist, 1 year at Park, and is now on the national team, represents his country, Ghana, for beach volleyball. His cousin Shamzu. So you're talking all seven Australian cats. You're talking all seven continents. Ed Keller was actually joined us later. He spent a lot of time in New York City playing on the beach, and now he lives on the Strand. He's out here. So for the people from the South Bay, he's one of the people. You know, I'm not gonna call him y'all people, but he was someone that you guys know. They hope. By the way, Ed Keller holds legendary fours tournaments in front of his house. He lives on the Strand, and they play.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Memorial Day and Labor Day. It's like this 2-day whatever, and just like Central Park, you don't even see sand. They're just surrounding the court, just people, and the sand and the 4-on-4 players. You know, they play a little differently. They basically set one guy on each team, 3-man cover, but the one guy they're setting, it's awesome because everybody knows you're setting that guy and he's still getting kills anyway. So it's a testament. It's not a testament to how bad they are defensively, but a testament to how good and intelligent outside hitters have to be. You have to recreate yourself, right? Volleyball's a copycat league. Bern, they're going to catch up with us. They're going to catch up with you sooner or later. You got to recreate, you know?
That's why I got the hell out of there. You know, I got older. I was like, oh, y'all ain't taking revenge on me.
Yeah. Well, that was one of the best days of my life because I got validation from people who you'll never see on TV. All right, you'll never see in the NCAA finals. You won't see in the Olympics. But if you go to adult nationals, where people can just get to play whoever they want, these are the teams that are in the finals winning. You know, Balmeso won 2 years in a row. They didn't lose a set. Yuli made a team. Balmeso, just some cats from the Dominican Republic. I was the only white guy that set for that team, but I didn't go to nationals with them. So these are the guys you won't hear of on the national stage, but anyone that's played adult nationals is like, I know that dude. He's nice. So, but that's not how the day ended. His name is Kilvio.
Oh. All right.
So after being
I had my moments where I wasn't invincible all the time, okay? I made this dude famous.
First of all, they wanted to play 3 against 4.
He blocked me
Twice.
2 times. A devastating block.
For point game and for game. For point game and for game.
2 times he ultimately blocked me. And mind you, I was on a killer's. I hate talking about this.
Gotta do what you gotta do, man.
You know what? It's in the past, and it was all out of fun, though. But when he did it, I was mad. I was really mad. But then he started talking crap. He's my boy, though. I love him because God bless his soul, Pete, when Pete was alive. And
Peter,
that's another person I want to talk about. Pete, he's our boy, too. Love you, Pete. Wherever you are, man. Love you, man. Pete, before he passed away, he told me, Kilby was looking for you. And I was like, I don't want to talk to him. I'm still pissed off about what happened the last time. And he was like, no, he want to see you. I forgot what store he works in now. I know he works in a sneaker store. But,
New Balance.
Also, I want to give another shout out to Anthony Chaney, which is Tone. Wherever he is, I love you, man. I love you.
He in that volleyball court in the sky, man.
Yeah. Tone was famous for his jump serve. He can play, but he was famous for his jump serve. He had this weirdest jump serve since high school.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, he had a good right-hander's cut, and at the same time, he would serve right-hander's cut, and it would break last minute and wind up like middle. It would go to like your left shoulder. You're like, okay, I've seen this serve before, and then it would like somewhere in the middle of the air would break. And then go the other way and then drop like a ton of bricks. And now you got partners arguing with each other. It's like, is it your medal or mine? Let me know. And in addition to being a good jump server, he was in people's heads. It's just a hard thing to pass. And again, he did pray on he prayed on the weak people that that didn't scout him out.
Oh, that he did.
Sooner or later you got to crack the code. So let's talk about something I call the roommate situation.
Oh boy!
A bunch of us got together, decide we all want to be roommates. Great idea, right? We're in a place.
It was.
The rent was, I believe, it was 14 rooms. It was 5 bedrooms, but 14 rooms. Had a basement apartment. The basement apartment had its own bathroom and its own kitchenette. So whoever lived in the basement, that was
Ricardo.
golden. Yeah, that was the guy who didn't play. So we had to. So he's like, "Oh, you want to stick the short guy in the basement? That's how you motherfuckers work." And I was like, "Listen,
he ain't fucking short.
I'm like, dude, you got your own shower, you got your own bathroom, you got your own kitchen, you have your own stove." He's like, "Cool, all right." But the whole time he thought there was a catch. It wasn't a catch,
Ricardo was like, Taz.
Jacked up like Taz too.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. He was. Well, no, he still is. He's still built. I give it to him.
So basically the rent was $1,600 a month. 4 of us paid $400 each. And the 5th person paid $300. The guy with the smallest room paid $300 for utilities, for gas, for electric.
Actually, it was $200 for me.
Yeah, but look, gravy train, right? We get on it, we ride it. I thought we had the time of our life. It was amazing.
Oh, it was, man. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, but listen, the toughest thing was we were not independently wealthy. We were check to check guys back then. I swear to God, like. If you ever see Chris Rock Head of State, like how many of you guys work 2 jobs and you make just enough money to say you're broke? That was us. We made just enough money to be broke, because beyond that, if we didn't, we didn't even qualify as broke. We were just burr. There wasn't the oak. So scrounging the money for the deposit. We worked extra hours to do that. Renovating the house, some certain rooms to our liking, that took money. And that took time. The housewarming party was the most enigmatic thing. Man. It was like Project X on steroids. I thought they're gonna be fucking helicopters, dude. But before we get to the housewarming party, I want to talk about Bernard's room. Bernard, there was a double bunk bed in there, and he's like, motherfucker, this big ass, I gotta find a way to this huge double bunk bed. You had to find a way to get out. Wouldn't fit through the door, so you took a hammer and you started breaking it into pieces.
Wait a minute, Jay. I still to this day don't know. They must have built it inside, because I'm like, when I looked at the room, sorry, I'm like jacked the headsets and shit. When I looked at it, I'm getting too excited. When I looked at the room, I was like, First thing I look at is the goddamn bed. I said, this double bunk. And I look at the walls and I was like, the hell is all this slimy shit all over the wall?
That's what made me laugh, because the whole time you're talking to yourself, I could hear you muttering upstairs. It's fucking bullshit. I got to break down this fucking bed, effing this and effing that. And then you got quiet and you said, what the fuck is this? Jay, whoever used to live here is a freak, man. He got there's sperm on the wall. There's jizz on the wall.
I said, Jay was jacking over like goddamn walls in here.
And you're like, God damn it. You start hammering. Boom. Jack Ivory. Blam with a sledgehammer. Jack Frost. Boom. Jack in the box. Boom. Jack in the beanstalk. Bam.
I was just going
Jack
crazy.
Ivory.
What he's saying is very true. I said all that stuff. And I was hammering away on the bed. It was like, Jack Ivory. I was getting pissed off. Oh man.
Housewarming party. We sang Boys to no, we sang
No. Before we go into the housewarming party, the first thing, have you seen The Mask? If anybody's seen The Mask, remember that scene where the limo comes in and it's a long ass limo and you hear the So God bless his soul, man. I miss him so bad. Pete. I miss Pete so bad. And Nick and Mickey, if you're watching this, hi. Hi, Mickey.
Ali too.
And Michelle, if you're watching this. Yeah. Hi, Michelle. I love you.
Ali, Sarah, Michelle. Yeah.
Oh, you guys. I love you guys.
Chi DiMaggio. Yep.
If I stop and shout out names because
no, of course.
The people I loved and grew up with.
That all happened to be at the party though, but go ahead.
In the party, like I said, going back to The Mask, remember how he came into the club and you see this long ass limo? Pete, I told Pete, I said, yeah, we need volleyball people. Bring whoever you want to bring. He said, okay. I look out the window and I remember I was getting dressed and, freshen up, whatever. And I heard the lessons, long ass limo. I said, who is that? Sure enough, I saw Pete come out with a drink. And it's like, if you see the girls on Sundays in Central Park, we knew everyone. They all just started coming out. And I said, what the heck?
In civilian clothes. You do not know how hot a fucking volleyball girl is until she puts on real clothes.
Oh my God. Yo.
It's like, you know what she looked like under it because, they're playing bathing suits, but dressing up like that, I'm like, oh. Who are you?
We seen him in bikinis and everything, but in dresses and heels? Oh my God.
Yes. Hold on one second. This one's talking about what you mean dresses and heels.
Hey!
What you mean dresses and heels?
Hey!
What you mean dresses and heels?
Look at that hair of that girl.
Yeah, man. I'm looking like Tarzan. But, Bern. Yeah, it's Kelly. Kelly says hi. You can just say hi.
Hi, Kelly.
There it is. So, yeah, hey, for the people on the podcast, that's a break. That's my 3-year-old. She gets to do whatever she wants. But Bern, I have never seen a limo that big. I have never seen a limo that long in my life. I've never seen a limousine. Now, people spend money on some bullshit, right? Golden toilets and all that shit. And somewhere out there, I'm sure
golden toilets.
Yeah, right. To sit there golden ass and take a golden shit. All right. But because people spend money on bullshit, right?
He takes a golden toilet. He take a duster and go.
Petrified dog shit? That'll cost you $10,000. Sure, I'm rich. No, so I'm sure somewhere out there, someone has a limo out there bigger than what I'm talking about. But
it was man.
Patrick's like, Jay, there's a limo. Bern's like, Jay, look outside your window. So look outside the window. And it's this white limo. And I lived in Brooklyn. We lived on a cul-de-sac. We lived on a dead end street.
We were like rock stars out there.
So this limo pulls in. And I can see the neighbors pulling the shades up. And some people looking through like the blinds, their blinds, just peeking through the blinds. Cause this limo, the lights are on and it looks like, and it was lit on the top. It looked like a white Christmas tree and it's pulling in slowly and slowly. And then the door opens and then the girl gets out. All right. Looks like Mickey. Cool. Then another girl gets out. Then the third girl gets out. 12 girls later. It just seemed like they were. It seemed like they were coming out of a manhole through the bottom of the limo. It was. I mean.
And they weren't ugly. They were beautiful, fine, behind women, man.
Give me the ugliest volleyball girl I've ever seen. She's still prettier than any of y'all have in your fucking lives, all right? So
yeah, exactly. Body wise too.
So
believe it or not,
getting out of the car like Jackie Chan. I'm gonna sound like a racist, but that's who Peter. Didn't Peter's remind us of Jackie Chan though? Not because he's Chinese, but because of his good nature and the way he talks to people. So Peter gets out of the car, and we're just like, Peter?
He gets up. Remember, he
with
gets
a
up
big bottle of vodka.
Like a pimp.
And he said, Jay, I brought the chips and dip. Because I asked him, he called me. No, he called me. And should I bring anything? And I'm like, you know what? He's taking the train here. Right? He lives on the Upper West Side, Manhattan. I don't want him to drag a whole bunch of booze and all that stuff on the train and this and that. So I said, just bring a bag of chips and bring a bottle of Absolute, because I'm making frozen drinks. I was making mudslides that night. And he gets out of this limo with one bag of chips and one bottle of vodka. And I'm like,
and you hear the limo.
If I knew he rode that thing, I would have asked him to bring more.
Oh man!
The limo had to back out. The limo couldn't turn. The limo could not.
It couldn't even turn around. Yeah,
it had to back. And when a limousine, any of you guys ever been to Brooklyn, Flatbush Avenue? Flatbush is a busy block. There's loud music. There's crazy Jamaicans, Haitians, Trinidadians. So they see this limo back out of a cul-de-sac. So traffic, 3-lane traffic on both sides of the street has to stop for this white limo to pull out of a dead-end street. So now everybody on the outside of the block is peeking in to the block to see if someone famous is there. It was ridiculous. It looked like Webster Hall. This house was 14 rooms. It was 3 floors and a basement. We had the roof, one of the roof decks open on the second floor. We had a backyard. We had a laundry room. And every single room was filled to capacity. People just talking. We had music on every floor.
Yeah,
we had calypso music on the ground floor. We had house music on the second floor. We had a little hip hop on the top floor. It was Project X without calling the police.
Yo, that surprised me. Nobody didn't call the police. Nothing. We were just going nuts. I think what time the party
when you have a limo like that,
maybe
you think
4 in the morning.
No, but when you have a limo like that, you already assume the police know. They're like, okay, someone famous is coming. The cops have to know about
basically, right?
This. Yeah. And we're like,
oh man,
I was waiting for a rock star to get out of that limo. We were just like,
we were rock stars, man.
Yeah.
We were rock stars, man.
Yeah. And we sang Shy, If I Ever Fall in Love.
Selena.
Yes.
I love you, Selena.
Selena's listening?
I don't know if she is. I'm just saying names.
Yeah.
I told you I'm just going to say names.
Oh, definitely. Selena, we love you.
Patrick, I love you, man. My brother, you know that.
Patrick
Eugene's a big retard. I love you too, man.
Yeah, man. Love me some Eugene. Love me some
Peter, you're my brother, man. I love you. I still want you to be careful out there in the army, man.
Yep. You passed the torch. That was the man. You know?
Yeah.
That was the dude.
Danny, my apprentice, Guzman. I love you, brother.
Danny Guzman.
Guzman. I said Guzman. Oh my God.
Okay.
I'm tired. Kid. I work 12 hours.
Hey,
but what's that guy's name?
I used to call true Brooklyn baller.
I was like, Halalando. I couldn't even say his name right.
His name was Alejandro.
I know, but remember, I could never say his name. I was like, Alejandro, whatever the hell his name is.
The last thing I remember about him is him and Ren had it out in Central Park. This is 2 years ago. And Ren punched him in the face and bloodied him up. Ren did one of those, you know how Ren got that little queen walk? Alejandro took a swing at him and Ren just did one of these. Just this, and then went like this. Look, it was like this. It was like this. Ready? Boom, bam, like that. And he said, "Oh, by the way," he says, and then when people stepped in, he says, "Oh, by the way, you're bleeding." I was like, "Oh shit!"
God.
No wonder when Ren talks all that shit, nobody comes at him, man. Whoa. Wow. He's like, "Are you drunk?" I was like, it was hilarious. So there's 2 people I want to talk about. And I wanted to get funny, but I want to take this moment to get serious. I want to talk about Eugene Escoboza. You didn't see the episode. I was with Rob McLean on Sports Debate Tuesday. And every week we give a shout out to someone special, doing something for the community, or they could be famous or they could be someone they don't know. So my weekly shout out goes to someone and I tell a small story and it goes like this. It's worth repeating. And I might even say it the next episode, whoever my next guest is. You left volleyball to do music. Undermine X.
I left volleyball for many reasons.
No, but Undermine X. And we can, after I tell the story, I want you, I need to shut up and let you talk. And I want you to talk about the Undermine X and that small time period where you had this religious following. You left volleyball. So there was me and Eugene. I split with my wife. I lost 60 pounds. Because I had nothing better to do. I just started running track, riding bikes, started eating 5 times a day, cut ice cream, Haagen-Dazs out of my life. And then Eugene and I, we got this idea because you and him had this mild success playing grass court together, playing open.
Yes, we did.
I said, look, we could do it. I said 4 years ago when I was, I had quickness, but I didn't have speed and I didn't have my jump. I said, I'm in shape, dude. I can do a lot of things Bernard can do. I can't do everything. I'm not going to wow the world because I never had your power and I never had your vertical jump. You were weird because
you have power, man. What are you talking
I have
about?
power, but there's levels, right? Look, Ren could hit, but there's Bruno and there's Ren. Like Ren could hit, but you could still dig his shit, and it's still fast. And there's some nervous energy, but there's some people you're just terrified of. So I could play. So I said, look, play with me. So I decided to go back to school. I auditioned for Marymount Manhattan, ranked number 2 in the country theater. I auditioned, I got in, but I knew in order for me to graduate, I didn't have the money to be full-time student. And I did it I did it the first 3 years. So my last year, I said, let me just go to summer school for 3 years. So when my senior year comes, I spend less money and I could graduate. So one summer, Eugene and I had this idea to just go to tournaments and make money together. You don't know about this. And, but we were smart. If the Pottstown Rumble was $3,000, everyone was going there. We're like, wait, Connecticut's $500. They're all going to Pottstown. Let's clean up. Boom, 500. Shishing. Doc Rich had these tournaments, like basically every weekend. Shishing.
That's the man, Doc Rich.
Shishing.
Sorry.
So we played 10 tournaments, 10 or 12 tournaments, and we ended up making close to $5,000.
Right.
Now, Bernard, my tuition was $5,000. But Eugene and I had to split the $5,000, $2,500 apiece. So I knew I only had half. And I'm like, okay, maybe I just pay for one class or maybe I just take a loan or whatever. So one night we're at the parlor and he's sitting next to me and we're just chatting like you and I chat. Like, remember we used to go to Blondie's? It's just like a normal night we're chatting and he comes up to me and he takes my hand, he puts out my hand and he takes an envelope, puts the envelope in my hand and it was his half of the money. And he says, Jay, go to school, graduate. Go do something. Go graduate.
I heard you told the story to Chi. I was listening. Yo, that's the that's
I mean,
how
when you tell
is.
people they don't understand, they look at you and they say, oh, this cocky son of a bitch. What do they mean understand? This is what they're not getting. Okay, this is not for the people of you that have money that can just shell out $2,500 here and loan a friend money there. I say good for you, and I'm not envious, but I'm glad that you can enjoy that life. Gene is from the South Bronx, a Dominican immigrant living from check to check. Brothers are broke, mama's broke, just holding on by a thread. Money he didn't have. At the time he was married to Anna. If Anna knew about that, maybe she found out. Maybe that's why they split. That man took money that he didn't have to give it to me because he wanted me to graduate. So I quote that movie, The Avengers, when Captain America says to Iron Man, what would you be without the suit? And he goes, millionaire, entrepreneur, playboy. It's actually a funny line, right? But what's serious was Captain America says, I know people that are none of those things worth 10 of you. Exactly. And there's a lot of people that don't know what the hell he's talking about. What is he talking about? I give you Eugene Escoboza. So when if I tell my friends, and there's plenty of millionaires out here in the South Bay, millionaires, entrepreneurs, playboys, and I look at them. The reason why they respect me because I don't give a fuck if you're rich. Listen, the ability to not give a fuck out here is golden. It's original. Some people feel like I'm not gonna get into selling your soul, but if I look at someone and say, I know people that are none of those things worth 10 of you, That's the kind of guy I'm talking about. And that's the guy you're talking about, Bern. That's the kind of guy we both like to think, that we surround ourselves with.
Of course. I remember the time when Eugene had a situation, and I was already in Brooklyn, when we were living together and stuff. And he called me, and he was at Mike's house. And he called me, and he was like, Bern, I'm hurt. And that's when I think she broke up with him. I forgot her name.
Anna.
No, not Anna. It was another chick before Anna.
Okay.
It was that lawyer. I forgot her name.
No. Okay.
But anyway.
Yeah.
He was at Mike's house, and I had to go all the way back to Manhattan to get my boy. I was like, what's the matter? And I stayed with him like all the whole night because I had to go to work the next day, but I didn't care. I stayed with him. And I was like, listen, don't worry about that. I was telling him, don't worry about it. Yes, it hurts, but I said, you're going to heal up. You're going to get better again. And you're going to find somebody better. And that's when he found Anna, which I don't want to get into that drama in that case of moment. But yeah, I went out there and you don't understand, people, volleyball was just volleyball to us. We were just a family. Jay and I, we sometimes argue too. We have our little spats too and stuff. But, no matter what, we're still bros, Pat is out, and Pat's like our little brother. Eater is our little brother. Gene came later on into the group. Like, was Patrick first with us, or Gene came third?
Patrick was first, but not with us. We just knew Patrick. Then
Eugene
came on the scene, and Patrick and Eugene played each other the same way you and I played each other. There's a little bit of heat, and then they became friends, and then they came with us together. They came in a package.
I think Eugene played against us in Irvin. He was blocking the shit out of me.
He played with Ren, yeah.
Oh, that's why. And then he saw our chemistry, and he came along with us.
Yeah, he liked us better. What's not to like? Come on.
Yeah, and we became best buds from there. You don't understand. That's why I call us the NWO, because we was just after that. And then we got Patrick with us, all fours. Speaking of not the fours, speaking of the threes, oh, man, you know where I'm going with this. Remember that grass tournament?
Yes.
And we had to run out all the way to get the ball. I used to hate that.
Yep.
So I'll let you tell the story because you tell it better. Because if I tell it, I'm going to get mad again.
All right. First of all, this is your album. We're gonna revisit this. Bernard took a half a decade away from volleyball, and he pursued music full time. And Undermine X was a grunge rock band that just hit the scene in the Village, hit the scene in the Brooklyn scene, like the Williamsburg and like next to Red Hook, where rock was just where that kind of rock was amazing. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is one of his albums, which is the one that had Come On Baby. I was the one that broke up with you. This isn't it, right? It was something else.
No, it was the second album. The first album. I'll give it to you.
What was the first album called?
Tell
you what, I'll find
I think it was just Undermine X.
Yes, Undermine X, the X. Okay, got you. So, yeah, man, but we'll get into that in a second. But the first grass tournament, there's a tournament in Connecticut called Sherwood, or Wilshire, 3-on-3. Still exists, by the way, for everybody that knows.
Really? Very
incestuous out there, particularly with their white brethren. Okay, it was a kind of place where if you weren't as good as them, they didn't respect you. You try to have a conversation,
Exactly.
Get to know people. No, I'm not interested. Eugene and I, Patrick and I won. Actually, we finished third AA. When that day you were playing open, thought we could make friends, talk to people. Nope. One tournament later, we just said, "Fuck it, let's play open." We won open. Still no respect, and Patrick, Patrick's trying to get to know people, but for me, I'm like, all right, just pay me.
I know how you are.
Yeah, pay me, give me my money, and I'm good. I'll go back to New York. They don't affect my bottom line. So, grass 3-on-3, they have this conversation about hands, and they're like, look, we're not calling sand hands out here. For us, a double's a double. We're not judging it by spin, but the problem is the people reffing call it by spin. They call it by the way they know how. So the first set, I'm just out there and I'm an indoor setter, so I'm just throwing, I'm shooting it, and none of them are doubles. But there's some spin and nope. The guys no.
And it was just talking shit.
And then,
I was getting pissed off.
And then we lost the first set. I got called for a double 5 times, and I'm shook. And I never get shook. So I'm like, Eugene, just set the second set. Because Eugene had the dish. Like the dish that they're more used to, the catch and throw. Yeah, like they're not gonna call a carry because everybody's doing it. I hit right side, you hit left, and we won that game. But Eugene's like, look, I can set, Jay, but if we're gonna win, it has to be you. You have to set. So the team that reffed us, that screwed us out of our game, that set, we ended up playing them at the end. And this is a lesson to everybody who plays volleyball, grass in the Midwest or the West, everywhere. Don't fuck somebody that you got to play later. Don't fuck nobody that you have to play later. So they were doing everything they could to slow the fucking storm. Jump serve. And it wasn't really me and Eugene. We did our thing. Everything you touched was personal. It was sticking it up their ass. If you served, it was an ace. If I set you, it was a kill. If the rare occasion they served you, you gave it to me to hit on option on 2. And if they blocked me on option, I just back set Eugene on a back 1, chack top of his, the block goes down. They go up with me. The block goes down with me. Eugene's up. Bye, And what they started doing was every time the ball was hit away from the net, they would walk really, really slow. They would they would walk in a group too. They would grab the ball. No, but Bern, they would walk in the group of 3. They would grab the ball, and while they grabbed the ball, they'd have a conversation, and then it would slowly walk back.
Yeah, and then I was getting so pissed off.
So, well, you're serving, right? And you just got 2 aces. So they're trying to see if they could ice you. So I'm just facing the net, and I got, I'm like this, just facing, so I don't see behind you, and you're like, serve. Boom, whoosh, ace. Walk. This time it's 2 guys, but same long walk. On the way back, he went to say hi to this girl or whatever. How you doing? Hey, how you playing or whatever? And I'm just like, are they fucking insane? So they finally give us the ball back. So they finally give us the ball back, right? Maybe we iced him. We have enough time. And I'm like, all I hear is whoosh, ace. Another ace. Whoosh, ace. So it took 5 minutes. It felt like 5 minutes for you to score 3 points. But it was, and to make matters worse, to make it angering, it didn't even work. You got the ball back. Whoosh, ace. So the third time, you saw a bucket turned up. You took the bucket. You turned the bucket upside down. You took a 1-gallon jug of water, and you sat on this bucket, and you were drinking the water like it was fucking wine. My lips are parched. So this guy finally comes back. He rolls the ball to us. And you're sitting on the bucket, and the ball rolls by you. You just do one of these kind of, and you just keep drinking your water. You just let the fucker go by, and the guys are like, "Dude, you guys are ready? Are you guys ready to play?" And you go like, you go, Jay, you want some water? I was like, it was so fucking funny. It was this one match, 1 set to 15, that just took forever. But you played some reverse psychology. You're like, you know what?
Of course.
Now you get to wait for me. And I love my favorite part of the whole thing was when they rolled the ball. You didn't get up to get it. You just went. With the lips, look, Bern. What the fuck? I'm parched. Jay, you want some? So it was hilarious, and Eugene's pissed, right? I'm not pissed. You just changed my mood, and I think that was a good psychology for me because I don't get burned. I don't get shook. They shook me. No. These guys who don't know me, who don't respect me, who don't want anything to do with me, just wish I go back to where I came from. And what I come back with a Dominican and a black guy in this fucking lily white whatever, and ooh.
Yo, they don't understand. We gave them Central Park style.
Yeah,
that's what we did.
Well, my problem was I thought everything was about me, but I found out later they're just like that to anybody who's not one of them. They did. Remember Rewa? They did it to Rewa. Rewa, black girl, Rewa Chen. We played her in Urban.
Oh,
Remember
okay,
we played reverse co-ed, and you guys had a little disagreement, and then the following week I said, Bern, you never believe if we're playing in Urban. You're like, yes. So Rewa goes out there, and I told this during one of my podcasts. It was I don't know if I told I told Dane Blanton. I had Olympic gold medalist Dane Blanton on the podcast last episode 44, and Dane told the story about ref giving him a red card because the timeout, they took too long to get out from the timeout. So the ref arbitrarily skipped the yellow and gave him a red. But what happened was it pissed him off. It didn't cost them the game. They got pissed off and they ran off. They were down. It was 10-10. His partner, Eric Fonomawana, missed one, right? 11-10, timeout. On the time in, skipped the yellow, red. And Dane and Eric lost their minds. And instead, they got the ball back, ace, block, trans-kill, ace. So the first part of the match, 10 up, because it was side out, took 60 minutes. The last 5 plays took like a minute and 10 seconds. So I told Dane, I have a similar story for you. I bring you Rewa Chen. She's playing in Connecticut, and I told Dane about the environment and how, I'm not going to say, I will say racist. Racist, because racist means you have the inherent belief. No, you have the inherent belief that you're superior or inferior because of one's race, or maybe just elitist because they make money out there, whatever. But
we lost that game?
No, she didn't. No, we won that game and we lost to Hugo.
Oh, okay.
Hugo and Makiba, Peter, and Hugo. Remember the black guy? Remember the black guy with the dark skin dude with the funny jump serve? He had like a 3-step, like a one-legged takeoff. He got 3 aces. I was trying to realize what the fuck he was doing. But anyway, Rewa, you're gonna love this. She's down 13-6. Rally comes back, scores 7 straight points. Rally ties the game up 13 up. Damn. And on transition, she sets the ball, and the refs, because the refs are homegirls with the ones they're playing against, says net. Net. And Denise was like, net. I hit the ball back here, and they're like, no, her. And Reed was like, me? I'm a back row defender. How do you figure? Oh, you backed up into the net and touched the bottom of the net. And she calls a timeout, and she does a Bernard. She sits in her beach chair with a 1-gallon bucket. She didn't have a bucket like you. She sat in her beach chair, but I had this flashback because she had the 1-gallon jug, and she was like this. You were a little bit more happier. She takes a deep breath, lets it out, gets the side out, right? So now it's 14 up. She ties the game. Gets a dig on cross court, transition, kill, 15-14. Jump serve, free ball. She takes the free ball, and she hits a ball, and the girl blocks her. Rewa hit this as hard as she could, and it blocked her, and it bounces off Rewa's head and her face, boom, pops backwards, and the girls just walk away because they think they got the block, and Rewa's partner, Denise, sees the ball still in play, runs, brings it back into play. Rewa is looking for a place to bump the free ball, but she sees the 2 girls walking away, their back turned to the net, so she just bumps it in the middle of the court. They turn around, the ball lands in the middle of the court, game. And she said, give me my fucking money. Give me my fucking money so I could get the fuck out of here and go back to fucking New York. I was like, yes! Listen, we were rivals. That was the same year we were rivals. But let me tell you something. She couldn't have had a better best friend that day than me who stayed. That was the day you and Eugene, you didn't make it out of pool. You and Eugene had a bad run and a bad chemistry. And Patrick and I lost to Ronnie and Corey in Double A. And so Patrick and I stayed and we watched. But Rewa couldn't have had a better friend than me. I said, how you doing, girl? She's like pretty fucking annoyed, you know? But I tell my kids, when I coach club, I talk about the difference between a winner and a loser. Like, here's the point I was trying to make, and you're going to love this. If she lost that game because of the net call, everybody would have understood. You got screwed, right? That call, gave them point game, and subsequently they got the last. And if you didn't get called for that, you might have won. But she didn't choose to go that route. She didn't choose to play the victim. So she, like Dane, it lit this fire in her belly that is consistent with what winners are. And she came back and won, And I only told Dane because I was thinking to myself, there's no way the 2 of them didn't feel any differently about it. I'm sure that both of them felt how it affected them, how upset they were, how they took a moment, and how they used it as motivation to stick it up people's ass. It was an amazing moment. And I shared that with Dane on a smaller scale. And Dane, in his humility, he loves to listen to everybody. Dane is fucking chill. Dane's the chillest Olympian I've ever met, dude. He's the first African American. This is how white this sport is. He's the first African American to win a gold for indoor or beach. Yep.
Nice.
In fact, he's only one of 2 players to win an NCAA championship, an AVP championship, and a gold. Only Karch. And he's left out of the top 25 players that ever play the game. So, yeah. Yeah, you like SMH.
I gotta shout out to something also. Romeo, I love you, man.
Romeo!
Shout out to you.
Remember the I'm Not Gay story?
Oh, man.
Remember Michelle gets fucking drunk? Come on, we outing everybody tonight. So Michelle gets drunk and she's like, how come I always see you with dudes and I never see you with chicks? This is Michelle talking like her little Jersey accent.
What, our Michelle? Or?
Yes, our Michelle. Michelle.
Okay.
So she's how come I never see you with chicks? And I always just see you with dudes. I never see you with chicks. Don't you like chicks? So dang. So in the best way he knows how to make everybody laugh, he goes, I'm not gay.
That's our boy. But here's a funny scenario story.
I can relate.
Somebody come up to me and he goes, Bern, I gotta ask you, since you're best friends with him. I said, what's that? I said, no, Jay's not gay.
Oh shit, how did you know?
Because that's the first thing I tell them. And
how did you know what I was gonna ask, right?
I said, trust me, Jay's not gay. Trust me. I used to live with him. He had women. Trust me. He's not gay.
Look at the dents on that bed, bro. Rah.
So it was like, it used to be a lot of people come up to me and they'd be like, yo, Bern. No, he's not gay. It was like, oh, wait, how you know what I was going to say about that? I said, simple, because everybody had been asking me. No, Jay's not gay.
And I appreciated you guys for that because the way I talk, is kind of metrosexual. Metrosexual is the East Coast thing where everything about the guy is straight. Everything about the guy is gay. You know, he dresses nicely. He talks. He's flamboyant, but everything about him is gay except he's straight. So in New York there was a term called metrosexual. And I really love that you guys were like that. And Eugene thought I was gay. He's like, dude, I'm your best friend. If you're gay, I don't care. That's cool. I'm still gonna, the same thing. He said, I'm still gonna be your friend, and I'm like, that's real. I appreciate that, but I'm not gay. I'm like, it would be cool if I was. I mean, right? No, but
I remember there was this girl in the bar you was talking to. It was on 96th Street, 86th Street. I think it was 86th Street, and you was talking to her, and you started laughing. Said, Bern, I think this one's for you. She liked the black guys. And I was like, Jay is half black, so what's not to like about him?
He's gay.
and then you gave me her and she was talking to me. And I was just like, okay. It was like, I didn't know how to begin the conversation. I was just like, yeah, how you doing? And you was like, I want you, the way you did it, he was like, I want you to introduce you to my friend here, Bern.
Oh my goodness. That's fucking awesome, dude. Big shout out to Romeo. Big shout out to Michelle. Definitely, Eugene just isn't a friend. Eugene is a lifelong friend. He's not just a lifelong friend. Yeah,
that's our brother.
He's a brother. He's a brother from another mother.
Patrick, that's our brother.
When he was in California when I graduated, he moved to California for a little bit and then came back, if you remember. He spent some time out there.
He told me something that pissed me off the other night. He said when he was in California and he broke up with this girl, he was homeless. I was like, what? Gene, I'm sorry I said this on here. I really am. But it's over now. You have a better life. But when you told me that, I was pissed off. Yeah. I was pissed. Well, I was like, why you didn't call me? I could have helped you out.
He was pissed at me because he asked me if I had $600 to help pay his rent. And I said, yeah, give me 2 days. And then the same day, he sends me another text, well, I guess I can't rely on my friends when I need them. I'm always there, when they need me. And I'm like, Gene, I just, maybe Verizon fucked up. Maybe he didn't see my text, But does Eugene, for Eugene to even think I wouldn't give the shirt off my back, one, because we're boys, even if he didn't do what he did for me, the man gave me his $2,500 so I could finish school. All right. I graduated. I was sad that he was in California and couldn't make the graduation party. It was the biggest party ever. My mother, when I graduated, said, now I can die. That's how happy she was when I graduated college. So if Eugene, I mean, even outside of the money he gave me, I don't think that in my mind that I owe him. That's not, because that's the friends, the tight circle of friends that I keep for life. That's not how we roll. We don't think about we owe somebody. If they need something, you give it to them. If they need it and you don't have it, you find a way. And if you can't find a way, then you go from there. You know,
right.
I knew I could have it. I knew I could have it. I had I was refereeing Urban, and I had a big fat check, $950 coming, and he said he needed $600. I was just gonna give him the $9, and I said, Gene, give me 2 days. You know, because at that time, me and my wife split. They raised my rent from $1,200 to $1,275. So now me and my wife aren't splitting the rent. I'm paying the $1,200 by myself, and they raised my rent. So I couldn't give him the money right away. I was still check to check. So and for years he didn't talk to me. And then when he came back, I don't know, it just felt like it was normal. He came back healthier. He was doing yoga. He looked like Barack Obama, right? He came back 2008 and he looked like Barack Obama. His skin looked healthier. He wasn't eating that fucking General Tso's chicken every night. He looked good. He's like, nope. He said, T.O.
Time out. The hell you mean he came back looking healthier?
I thought he did.
When I came back and this was trying to come back, Gene out there making drinks, getting drunk, and acting crazy.
But that was 2 years. Look, it took him 2 years to get fucked up again. Like he came back 2008, 2010. He and Eater were just drinking buddies. You know, Eater is not. Look, Eugene was not an alcoholic. He was a drunk. All right, Eater was an alcoholic. Tell everybody the difference between an alcoholic and a drunk. Say it.
Well, Eater, the alcoholic, I go to goddamn meetings. Drunk. An alcoholic.
You got to go to the meetings. That's right. Alcoholics got to go to those goddamn meetings.
Alcoholics go to those goddamn meetings.
Oh shit. So yeah, that's a cool story. So Bernard, let's talk about Undermine X.
Yes, Undermine X.
You took a little time away from volleyball, which I thought was your volleyball prime. But, I know you had some nagging injuries. You thought it'd be a good time to just play and allow stuff to heal up. Go ahead.
I just switched because I used to be with my boys, Eric and Mike and Juan. Juan, what's up? Eric, what's up? Mike, I don't know if I see you, but I'm saying what's up to you. I love you guys. They were my first band. We used to call Even Flow, and then it went to Everflow. And then we changed it to something else. I can't remember the name right now. But that was the first band. And then things just got split up. And I went out with one of my ex-girlfriends, and she found this band for me. I don't want to say her name because I'm being respectful to that. She said the name. Well, she found this band for me. And we weren't called Undermine X. We was going to be called something else. And I was like, what? I can't remember the name right now. I know I hated it. But then we became Undermine X, and we were gaining tons of people. A lot of people knew us. Then we was getting respect from other bands, and I was respecting a lot of bands from New Jersey, Long Island, Staten Island. We was almost the whole 5-borough. We was getting connects. And funny, we had nobody connect from the Bronx. But we knew people from the Bronx, though. And the band we was just doing shows, battle royals, shows. I was just trying to go crazy on stage, and I found my knack, I finally found the band that I love. If you never heard me, I try to idolize John Davis from Korn. Yep. But then I had a nasal voice back then. I knew I had a nasal voice, but I still worked along the lines with it. But it progressed and it got better, believe it or not. And people still dug us They dug my singing, they dug the band, and it just progressed. It got better and better. We were doing great music. We had our own studio, and it was just going on and on and on and on. But then, within bands, things just happen. So many things. I thought volleyball was drama.
I know,
dude.
Yeah.
This band was going through. We had fun times. Don't get me wrong. We have fun times, but I just hated dismissing certain people.
Yeah. But those are the things you choose to remember, though, right? We as human beings, we do get to cherry pick. Right, we do get to take these great moments. Because listen, it's really easy to take someone at their worst moment, right, and then take all the good stuff and forget about that and just focus on that and say, oh, that's all that happened, or that's you as a collective whole. We as human beings, we do that. We do that in politics. We do that in our social worlds. We do that on social media. And Bernard, it's easy to do that. In fact, I would say it's lazy to do that. But we both agree that it's easy, right?
Right.
So I choose. And so do you, to take some of these good parts and these good times and reflect on those. And I really, really love, What the Hell You Become. I actually have a power ballad here, Heart and Soul. I'm going to play a bit for everybody.
Go ahead. Give me a second. Cool.
Trying to say, but no words flow. I tried to save it, but you wanna go. You are my everything I care.
Just want to play the 10 more seconds.
You may cry, but I don't want you to go.
And that we both agree is not like your signature stuff. You're in the mosh pits. Eye for an eye, and everybody was screaming, but they loved it, and you know it.
They did.
Dun, dun. You could have done a schizoid personality video on that, just a bunch of people doing, or just like Jay and Silent Bob just going.
Just bobbing their heads.
Yeah, because at the end when they do the chorus part, like that's when everybody, like when people don't know what to make of it, they're just like this, right? And then when the chorus comes, they're like, dun, 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 dun. Oh, this is fucking bitching, So. So for everybody listening, that was one of the power ballads. Certainly not the consistent with the genre that he was moshing out with, but you were talking about your voice and getting rid of the nasal part. So I just wanted the fans and the people listening to see what you sounded like. Good sample size.
Well, I got another song I can send to you if you want to hear it. Wait, I did send it to you on Facebook.
Yeah.
It's called All My Tears Are Falling Down.
Yeah, I could put it on the edit. We got kicked. My computer kicked us off of Facebook Live. It just crashed and rebooted. So now this is pre-recorded. I get to do whatever I want.
Fuck it.
Appreciating that.
So with that band, everybody always tells me how they love me in that band and wish we could stay together. There were certain things that happened in the band, and being a rock band, or rock stars, we kind of fell apart with each other in that time. And I became a band whore. Because I jumped to band, trying to become something. Yeah. And I've been to after Undermine X, I went to another band, and I went to another band, and I recently just left another band, and now I'm doing my own solo thing, which it's better off that way now. Because I can control what I want to control, and I can do what I want to do with my own controlling, and
Yeah, creative control is a big thing, especially if you feel like you're moving more forward and everybody else kind of wants to stay still. I'm not saying that their way was wrong, just different, and I don't think and I don't think you're saying that too. But I mean, you couldn't. As far as Juan, who's Eric, right? Yourself,
Juan, Eric, and Mike. No, those guys.
The nicest human beings you'll ever meet.
Oh, yes, they were. Beautiful friends, man.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
You would think, the music, you would think they out there I don't know, moshing and punching people in the face and getting the ambulances ready. But you wouldn't meet a more tame band than Undermine X.
Yeah, well, I talk about Eric, Juan, and Mike because they took everything what I asked them to do to help me. They made it.
Yeah.
They actually did it for me. Yeah. Every song that I have imagined in my head, they did it. And I was like, wow.
Yeah.
And that's what made me. And then what's weird, I didn't know I had this quick creativity because every time, like I know what I want to put in lyrics. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I didn't graduate high school. I didn't finish high school. I didn't get my GED. But don't get me wrong. I'm not a dumbass person. I'm a retard sometimes, playing around a lot. But
we apologize to retards.
Oh, sorry about that.
No, go ahead.
But it's just, the band Living Color said something in one of their songs. History's a lie that they teach us in school, which is true. I didn't know a lot of things about history until I see the History Channel. You see that stuff. And then you know about your Black history. And it's a lot of things that you just like, well, how come they never mentioned this in school? But not trying to get on that scenario. The creativity that I've done, from the experience of relationships, friends, and whatever just pops in my head, I tell them, hey, look, let's play this music and let's see what happens. And then I always try to want to play a song close to Korn because that's my band. But the guys are like, no, we're going to try to do it this way. Well, Undermine X, it was the same way too. I tried to be close to Korn, but we had our own style and everything. A lot of people loved that band. Loved it.
It turns back time for me.
We put on show to show to show. Then we had our own battle of the bands, and one of these bands won, made the money, and that same band they went to MTV.
A riot, dude.
Huh?
There was almost a riot that night. The band that won.
Oh yeah.
Everybody thought. It was like School of Rock. Remember School of Rock when the kids were really good and they gave it to the other band? It's like, okay, on paper that person won, but everybody that was there that night know who won. Jesus Christ. It was like a boxing match, 15 rounds. And it looks like the judges are taking a long time to score what everybody else here thinks is obvious, And then they give it to the other guy. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We had the most group in there and everything. I pulled in tons of people. My ex, she pulled in tons of people to come and watch. And even though they were slightly terrified,
Why not?
Because I jumped in the mosh pit and my Russian friend and my guitarist father, they had to protect me while I was singing in the middle. But I knew nobody. If they would have hit me, I wouldn't care.
I love how unafraid you are to fucking jump. Dude, I feel like if I jump, I feel like they would part like the fucking Red Sea, dude. I'm just like, So listen, go ahead.
You know what made it bad for that battle of the bands? I was jumping around so much. I remember y'all teased me when I jumped on stage. I was like, I remember y'all teased me on that. But I did so much on stage, and I don't. And you know who inspired me to do a lot of movement on stage? Marilyn Manson. He didn't do what I did. He did separate things, but that inspired me to be like, I don't want to be that rapper that walks back and forth grabbing your dick. I hate that.
Nope.
It's like, you're not doing nothing for me. You just, like Eminem, I watched him perform, and that's what he does, walk back and forth grabbing his dick. And I was like, really, dude? This is how you are live? I was like, that was like
them better on the radio.
Yeah, I said, I prefer just to listen to you, not to watch you. But that's how I want to be, that man that just make a performance. That's what you're supposed to do, right?
I think so.
The other bands that was up there, they didn't do near half of that stuff what I've done on stage. Half of them things. I went up there, I like to make an intro and I like to make an exit. That's what I like to do. Them bands didn't even do none of that.
Nope.
None.
No. It's an urban legend, man. They still talk about it.
And they won.
Yeah.
A whack ass band.
Oh God, I don't even think they should have been third. But listen, we got to go in a bit, but I want to see if I could catch you off guard without mentioning the girlfriend's name at the time. Was there a certain someone that came home a little early that made you had to hide the other girl under the bed?
Damn, Jay.
You almost made it. You almost escaped, dude. Like the fucking paparazzi. I got you, huh?
I did escape. All right.
Yeah.
So
we ain't gotta say names. You had a lot of girlfriends.
No, I know. I'm not saying names.
Okay.
So I had 2 ex-girlfriends. The
Can't
other one
believe I
wasn't an
asked
ex. She wasn't an ex at the time. She was a side chick. So
Jake
I
from State
thought
Farm.
the ex-girlfriend wasn't going to come back at a certain time in that day, which is the weekend. So I was alone in the house doing my thing, but sure enough, I had invited the side chick. She had spent the night with me on Saturday, and Sunday I said, well, you got to leave early because certain individuals going to come back. So we're in the room, we're sitting down, finish what we're doing. We already had like tons of sex, whatever. Next thing you know, I'm sitting there, bra and panties. I'm sitting there, my ears was like, I heard the keys in the door. Mind you, I had the TV loud, but somehow you could still hear those damn keys. And then I was like,
dog
get
whistle,
under
dude.
the bed now. So
You
she
hit
got
this
underneath
chick
the bed.
under the fucking bed, dude.
She got underneath the bed. She tucked herself, I guess, all the way to the wall. So I saw her, hey, baby, how you doing? How's it going? Blah, blah, blah.
She don't smell Badussi?
No, she don't see him.
She don't smell Badussi? You know what Badussi is?
Jay.
What is
Jay.
All right, for the people at home, Badussi, booty, dick, and pussy, okay? She didn't smell Badussi.
No, Jay.
Okay.
I have sprayed the room already. I always use Lysol back then. So then she comes in, hey, how was your weekend? Oh, great. How was yours? I was just playing video games, me, and just stuck in the room. I said, oh, my stomach, but it's really hurting, Oh, I get the soda. I said, I just don't want ginger ale. I said, can you go to the store and get me some my stomach is killing me. So she said, well, this ginger. I said, no, I need a certain ginger ale. You got to go get this certain ginger ale. So I told her certain ginger ale. So she went to the store, and I looked out the window, make sure she gets to the store, and I said, you got to go now. So she comes on the bed. She comes on the bed, and she puts up. She's like, oh my god. I said, hey, put on your clothes.
Breathe.
And take the steps. So she put on the clothes and she took the steps. So the certain ex-girlfriend comes back in. She gives me the soda, and I'm in the chair in the living room like, oh, thank you so much.
That feels so much
better. I love you.
Do you know who told me that story? Oldest Lucis. He's like, Jay, what the fuck? He says those are the kind of things you see like on the TV show, and like everybody's like, oh, this is a fun TV show, but that shit doesn't happen to any of us in real life. And there were so many stories like that if someone submitted that in the script, it's like, throw that out. There ain't no way that actually that would end like that. But I thought it was the funniest thing I ever heard because of the way you used not only did your radar go off, your sonar, right? Could hear through everything else, but throwing her under the bed, getting her to leave the house again, and taking this monitor, the small monetary moment that she left and came back to be like, clothes on, take the stairs, calm down, you're gonna make it, and so am I. Whoosh. And then when she gave you the soda, you go, You fucking phony Pepto-Bismol that shit, dude.
Going to hell.
Shit. When you go, make sure you send me one of those refrigerator magnets, okay?
Oh my God.
I gotta go, man. I gotta get out of here. But
I know family's home.
45, man. It was. I'm so glad you took the opportunity. And this is a long time coming. because the purpose of the podcast, it started as a volleyball podcast, but I just wanted interesting people. And for me, interesting people are not people that everybody knows worldwide. Like Jason Olive, he's a TV star, he's a film star. People know him. I want him on the show. Dane Blanton, Olympic gold medalist. Don't even get any better than him, okay? He's a savage. Just on that one story alone, he's a savage, I told you.
Right.
So I just want interesting people. Liz Ribble, she's a karaoke queen. Nobody knows her, but 2.5 hours, we're talking about musical theater. We're talking about music. We're talking about street harassment. Like Miranda Gagne, who's my tech for the show. Her that was a woman dominated like 20 minutes where I'm like, I'm the fucking host, but this one, if I want to hear about a women's issue, it'd be nice to hear women talk about this shit. Floor is yours. So there, I'm like, if I say I want interesting people on the show, it would be podcast malpractice for me not to have one Bernard Norman, aka Satan. Any shout outs you want before we get out of here? Anyone you want to say hi to? I think I'll possibly shout out everyone I know and love. If I didn't get everyone else's name, all you volleyball people that we all knew growing up back then in Central Park and everything, I love you guys. Oh, good. Listen, all right, I've had it with all you people. For all of you at home, for all of you watching us on your iPad, for all of you watching us on your iPhone, for all of you watching us on your desktop, who rules the world? Old school. For Bernard, the Thrill Norman, I am Jason DeBias, and for both of us, we say, we're out. Come check out the Option Podcast on optionvb.com. It's also available on iTunes and Spotify, and on YouTube under the NY Varsity Sports handle. You're going to love what you hear.